Hey everyone, today we're going to take a quick trip to Funspot, yes, the American Classic Arcade Museum. In the beginning entryway here you have a display dedicated to the Bally Senti system. It's the super system, and they're going to go through and they have a nice display of everything related to Bally Senti here. Now, there may be a picture of a guy who looks relatively familiar to you. That's Nolan Bushnell, founder of Atari and also founder of Bally Senti. He purchased them out from some ex-Atari employees. Bally Senti made a small array of games, including Trivial Pursuit, Chicken Shift, Night Stalker, and other games that are showcased here at ACAM. Before we step into ACAM, let's take a quick spin around view of the mini golf area straight ahead, and this is the birthday party area as well, some souvenirs and other things that are available to you to be purchased, and some very important restrooms that aren't worth showing. In this glass case is a Rockola jump bug that is a home use only. This was a gift to Robert O'Neill from O'Neill Design, and O'Neill Design did have Rockola as a client during the time, and they gave this to him as a gift upon his retirement. It's never seen public use. Right before you walk into ACAM is the ColecoVision display with a whole bunch of ColecoVision cartridges, boxes, accessories, and the system itself, all out on display in a glass case for you to view and remember the good old days. This is what I would call the main entrance to ACAM, the American Classic Arcade Museum. We're going to start ahead on our left by Chicken Shift here in computer space. Off to the left, it was not on at the time of our entry, which is too bad. Chicken Shift is a fun game, though, if you haven't had a chance to play it. Now here's the coveted Death Race, which is going for just shy of $50, or so I'd like to think, anyway. It has a classic forward-reverse shifter like you would find on the column of a steering wheel. Here we have a Thief. That may, does this one use a cassette? Please, somebody remind me on this. We're going to go ahead and take a look at this Cloak and Dagger next. We're just going to go through down the line and take a look at a bunch of the different games. I'll kind of point things out as I see them. Now over here we have the Universal row, and if you don't like Universal games, please just admire it for its art package. All these games have very interesting artwork, amazing artwork, and some of the bootleg companies even decided to mimic the Universal style cabinet when they were creating the bootleg, so it did leave a lasting impression. Now, as you can tell, I went on a very busy, rainy summer day in the middle of the week, which I have not seen Funspot this busy in decades. And I used to live up in this area, and I would go here frequently as a high school student who had no idea what was what. I just assumed that this was normal, and apparently it's not. But they have a nice row of pinball machines, a couple holes here and there, but it's to be expected when they've got all these games to try and maintain. As some of you know, I do spend some of my spare time helping out at an arcade, repairing and fixing games out on location. I will tell you, it is hard work to maintain hundreds of games at once and keep everything up and running and customers happy. It is a very challenging task, and I do admire what they're doing. Now, as you're around the corner from the pinball row, we've got a Zybots right in front of us. I have one of those titles, as well as a Paperboy. Both of those are running a flat screen monitor. I'm sorry. I do appreciate the CRTs, but they must have dedicated all of them to the Bally Sente row, which those monitors do look very crisp and on point. I know you guys see the Rolling Thunder with no marquee light. Hey, that's a running joke in the tech world. Please go change the Rolling Thunder marquee bulb. There is none. Battlezone, if somebody wants to get me one, I would love to have one. I'll give you $50 as long as it's working. Asteroids Deluxe. Some sneakers and shoes that we pass along our way. Sandals. Here we go, a Space Stool. Nice Quantum right here next to it. And a Major Havoc in a Tempest cabinet, which was a common conversion at the time. And then here we have a Black Widow, as well as a Gravatar. Now the purpose of this video is to really just kind of show you what ACAM has at the time. This is filmed in August. We're going to go past some Atari Pongs and Le Mans, the big Atari sign that they have hanging there. That thing's probably been hanging there for decades. But we're just going to go through down the line, take a look at all the different games that are here, and maybe push some buttons and shake controls here, even though the game doesn't work. But this game looks cool. I wish I could have had a chance to play it. Some black and white games, as well as video pinball, which I highly recommend taking a chance to play video pinball. Destroyer, a title I've never seen out in the wild other than here. It's got some pretty neat controls. One thing I love about arcade games is the control panel. They cannot be replicated successfully on a console. Now, I'm sure there's ways to do it in this modern era, but we're not there yet, in my opinion. Atari Force Liberator. Highly recommend playing this game. This game is a ton of fun. I just wish the trackball on this felt a little bit smoother. It was a little crunchy, but overall it's a good game. Now here's a title you don't see very often, a Buck Rogers cockpit format of this. I love the Sega Turbo style, Monaco GP style on the left hand for as far as scoring goes. A Star Wars cockpit, everybody lusts after those. Some racing games here. They even had a Sega Choplifter here in a cockpit format. A Stun Runner, which has an unfortunate flat panel. And the Space Harrier's down, which is so sad. I love playing that game. I love playing that format of it. Got some people going for some high scores over in the Taito row there. Now, Crazy Climber is a game I wish I was better at. It is a hard game, but it is fun. Nice big overview of all the people. It was busy. It was awesome. It was great. It was just very hard to film today. I was expecting to get in and out. This is why this video turned out to be very quick, and I'm doing some very lousy voiceover on top of this. Hyper Sports, they had a track and field there. I tried putting a high score on it, but one of the buttons wasn't working, and it made it very difficult to do on the track and field. Gyrus, we just finished our own Gyrus. Alien Syndrome, a title we don't see too often. Depth Charge, oh man, I meant to play that, but I didn't get to. Sorry, Troy. Now this is a family trip to Funspot, and there are tons of games here that I wish I had a chance to play. Just so many that did not make it into my realm. But it was more about watching my kids throw tokens into some of these old machines and explore, and having them run out and experience what we experienced as kids. Over here on the wall, they have a nice arcade and Hollywood display going through all these different movie titles related to arcade games, and maybe perhaps they made an arcade game off of the movie. Joysticks is one of my personal favorites. It's a raunchy 80s comedy movie. Hey, they should let me test my Wonder Boy board in their arcade machine to see if I can make sure that it works. Anyway, here we go. We've got some Stern games here. Frenzy, Berserk is a title I'd love to have. Either one of those, really. You guys remember I did that Tutankhamun restore. I'm bummed they don't have the marquee light on. That looks good when it's all lit up. Some flat panel monitors, as you can see, but it is the way of the world. Flower was one I would have liked to play. I have no idea what it is, but it looked fun. Some more Sega titles. Frisky Tom is a title I've never played. Just fun things to explore that when I was a kid and they had this here, I probably didn't even give it a second chance. I just walked right by it and played something else. Here is the Pac-Man row, Pac-Mania, Super Pac-Man, things like that, all the Pac-Man artwork and board games and information. I love that the next game coming up here is a jump bug that they have out in a glass case, but the monitor's missing colors. Timber! I love the artwork on Timber. The graphics, everything is great. Bank Panic, again, another title. So many titles here that I want to spend time playing. But, you know, I'm spending quality time with my kids, and that's good, too. Domino Man, not a common title to see out in the wild. You get to see it here at ACAM. This next title, which I wish I showed you better, is Lazarian, is actually a very fun game. And then here we go, we've got Satan's Hollow. That was in joysticks, I believe, before it was even released. And you guys know Tron, and as we keep going past some of these games. Wizard of War, a game that's on my list to get. Rally X was not quite working right. I tried. I pushed a couple buttons, and nothing happened. It just made noises, which was fun. Sometimes I do have this gut instinct to reach in my pocket and check my keys as if I'm on location to go ahead and fix it. It seems like it's stuck in a test mode. But Glass is not the arcade I work at. Now, Space App, again, another title I want to own. And, yep, that score is mine. That's 130,000 on the first attempt, which is not very good, but I'll take it. Here we have a Tunnel Hunt, a game that a friend of mine had, but it didn't work, and I've never ever actually seen one in person, so this is nice to see. This joystick is huge, and it moves around. It's got a button on top. Next, we're going to go around the corner here, and we have the Nintendo row with all the different iterations of Donkey Kong. Here we have some of the classic Exit shooters, Crossbow, Chiller, which I don't ever see usually, but that game I think we bring out sometimes during the Halloween season at one of the free play locations, as well as Cheyenne. Cheyenne's a fun game. They're very hard shooting games, in case if you never had a chance to play it. Adventure. Now, I did spend some time playing Crash, even though the monitor wasn't great. It's actually a very fun game. Difficult game to play. You have to weave in out of the lanes there. As we go through here, we've got some more games that are before my time from Exidy, so I've never had a chance to play them again. I need more time in my life to play these games. Gapless, Galaga, Gauntlet, things like that. Here we have a Super Zaxxon and a Zaxxon cabinet. Again, this is a game that I wish they had next to Zaxxon, so you could experience how hard Zaxxon is, and then experience how hard Super Zaxxon is, which is even harder, if you can believe it. Bosconian, Star Castle, another Space Invaders, some of the Scott Gollan collection here. We're going to end in the Skeeball area. This is giving me anxiety just looking at it. There's so many to repair, but hopefully this video gave you a quick look at ACAM and you had a good time seeing what ACAM has to offer. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Have a good one.